Good morning on this June the 26th, 2025. As you can see, I am still in bed. Oh, just waking up. And I have this musing on my mind about the ego. I really thought that ego, a so-called healed ego, might have a place at the table, in this human existence. But I think I was wrong. In my desire to redeem and reconcile everything, in my desire to have compassion even with our ego, I think I am wrong. I was wrong. And I know there are musings out there on my channel where I try to give ego a pass, to try to give ego a chance. I realized with my experience yesterday, or the day before, yesterday morning, how hurt I felt, when I was expelled from a Facebook group. And it was then that I realized that if humanity, if this earth is to ever elevate in frequency, the ego really needs to die. I have to concede that the scripture verse, that's where Jesus is saying to deny yourself, he's talking about the ego. I understand now why. And he was right. Okay? But I had to experience the contrast firsthand. I tried to give ego a chance. I was hoping it was redeemable. But if we're ever going to live in an elevated awareness, it can't come along. What is the thing, that gets hurt? It is our individuated self. It is the awareness of our individuated self that feels the pain, feels the suffering, and because we identify as an individualized thing. And as long as our awareness level is only within that personal bubble, the potential for war and conflict will always exist. What are we seeing in the Middle East between Israel and Iran? It's just the reflection of supersized egos that are trying to protect their personal interests. That's just a reflection of our on a small scale, personal ego. Right? And as long as I identify as Renee, I'm going to have personal preferences that I am going to fight for. I'm going to feel the hurt of being rejected because I identify as a thing. And with that alive, with that awareness, alive and nurtured, the potential for war within humanity always exists. And so how can we elevate the consciousness of humanity and Earth to anything above war and conflict? Only by ditching our individual ego self identities and living from the higher, the true identity of who we truly are before individuation, from the consciousness of God, from the consciousness of Source. Only then can we live unhurt. Only then can we live neutrally without having to fight for what is mine. So I'm sorry to break it to you. I thought I was doing pretty good. I thought I had a pretty good handle on, not giving back an eye for an eye. And I was very well disciplined, but it is not a safe place to live in a world surrounded by wounded egos. You're always going to get the reflection of someone else's hurt. And you get cast out, you get shunned, you don't belong, all because of ego and its personal preferences. There are even righteous preferences, such as defending your right to believe in God, defending your right to have a relationship with God. That's all ego. Don't be fooled. Only in the higher awareness, the higher consciousness of the monadic singular source consciousness before the splits, only from that consciousness can we truly be neutral and not hoard all of these personal beliefs that we build our human identity on and then fight for. Only then, only from the monadic singular consciousness can we live neutrally and peacefully. That's the morning news and the morning muse on this day.